Hi, my name is Dr. Emily Steinberg, and I am a postdoctoral fellow in the Boston office of CFA. Today, I'll be discussing how parents can support their kids in the back to school transition. The end of summer and transition to a new school year can bring a lot of mixed emotions for kids. They may be sad that summer is ending, excited to return to school, and also anxious about the transition. It's normal for kids to feel some amount of anxiety during this time of year. Even if they're returning to the same school, getting back to school still involves change and new things, which can be hard. There are several things parents can do to support their kids during this time. First, validate your child's feelings. Often, when we hear someone say they are anxious, the urge is to say something like, "Don't worry," or "You'll be okay." While this is well intentioned, it can actually be invalidating and unintentionally make things harder for kids. Instead, practice offering validation, showing that you are listening, you hear them, and you recognize their feelings as valid. Providing a space for kids to feel comfortable to talk about their worries and all their feelings about school while showing you are confident they can get through it can go a long way. It can also be tempting and also well intentioned for parents to accommodate their child's anxiety. This may look like allowing your child to stay home from school if they are anxious, or changing the morning routine in some way in an effort to avoid anxiety. But this can actually end up increasing their anxiety in the long term. Without facing situations that make kids anxious, they don't build the skills necessary to cope with that anxiety. So, parents can simultaneously validate their kids' anxiety while also setting the expectation that they still go to school in spite of this anxiety. For some kids, adding in extra supports to ease the transition could also be helpful, like arranging to meet their teacher or get familiar with the commute or the school building ahead of time, or meeting up with a friend or point person at school to walk in with. It's also important for parents to recognize that back to school can be a stressful and anxiety-provoking time for themselves too. So parents, practice taking stock of your own anxiety levels during this transition and practice offering some self-validation. Use coping skills that you've developed in the past to tolerate anxiety during previous back-to-school seasons or in other anxiety-provoking situations. Plus, this brings an opportunity to model to your kids that it's normal to experience all feelings, including anxiety, that transitions can be hard for everyone, and that you can approach the situation with bravery and get through it effectively. I hope you find these tips helpful, and wishing everyone a great school year ahead.